Hey everyone, this is Mr. Garcia, and in this lesson you are going to review algebra 2 parent functions. Okay, so this is a parent function, this is a linear equation, which means when you graph this, this one is going to be a line. So let me just do a table, and I'm just going to have three values here. Okay, so x values and y values, -1, 0, 1, and when x is -1, y is also -1. When x is 0, y is also 0, and when x is 1, y is 1. So then I'm going to plot the 3 points. So this is -1, -1, this is 0, 0, and this is 1, 1. So then I'm going to connect the 3 points so I can sketch the graph of this linear function or equation. Okay, so this is the parent function of all linear functions. All right, so let's discuss the domain and range of this one. So the domain is all real numbers. Okay, so x such that x is an element of all the real numbers. Okay, the range is also all real numbers. Okay, so y such that y is an element of all the real numbers. Now, the x-intercept is at 0, 0, which is the origin, and also the y-intercept happens at 0, 0. Okay, asymptotes, this one doesn't have any asymptotes, so this one is none. Okay, or not applicable, none or not applicable. So this is the linear function. Now on the next one, this is the absolute value function. So for the absolute value, I'm going to use 5 values, and then you'll see why once I start sketching the graph. So x values, y values, I'm going to use -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And think of it this way. The absolute value of -2, so when x is -2, what's the absolute value of 2? And of course the answer is +2. What's the absolute value of -1? The absolute value of -1 is +1. What is the absolute value of 0? This is also 0. And the absolute value of 1 is also 1. The absolute value of 2 is 2. So here are the x values and the y values that go with these x values. Okay, so let's sketch the graph of this function. So let's start with -2. So when x is -2, y is +2. So 1, 2, 1, and 2. So there is this point. The next point is when x is -1, y is 1. So -1, up 1. And then the origin 0, 0, and then x is 1, y is 1. Okay, so that's this point. And then when x is 2, y is 2. So there is that point. Next, I'm going to use my straight edge to connect the points and sketch the graph. So this is the left side of the graph. Okay, and this is going to be the right side of the graph. So this is a V-shaped graph. All right, so let's discuss a little bit about absolute value. Okay, in case you have forgotten, if I take the absolute value of -6, it's +6. The absolute value of -3 is 3. The absolute value of -20 is 20. The absolute value of +6 is 6, and the absolute value of +3 is 3. And last, the absolute value of +20 is 20. Now, why is it that the absolute value of negative numbers is always positive? Okay, so this is where many of you maybe don't remember, but don't forget, absolute value deals with distance. We never talk about negative distance, it's always positive distance. We say, okay, I'm going to travel, I don't know, 20 miles. We don't say I'm going to travel -20 miles, right? Because its distance is always positive. So that is why absolute value always gives you a positive number. Okay, so that was just a quick review. Now that we see the graph, let's go ahead and discuss the domain and the range of this graph. So the domain, as you can see, this is not going to stop going left, and it's not going to stop going right. So the domain is x such that x is all the real numbers you can think of. The range, however, notice that this graph gets to 0 and then goes back up. Okay, so the range is going to be y such that y is greater than or equal to 0. X-intercept is right at the origin, so this is 0, 0, y-intercept, same thing, it's going to be 0, 0. Asymptotes, this one doesn't have any asymptotes. But I'm going to add some more information here. Okay, and that information is the vertex and the line of symmetry. So this point here, okay, I'm just going to point an arrow. This point here is called the vertex. Okay, and this is the vertex, and then also this line that I'm about to sketch, this is the line of symmetry. Okay, and I'm hoping you can see this. So this is the line of symmetry, and I'm going to abbreviate the line of symmetry as AOS. Okay, that is a line of symmetry. So this red line is the line of symmetry. Okay, so that's all for this lesson. Again, don't forget, do not lose these notes, because we're going to keep coming back to these notes for other lessons, and I'm going to use the notes to introduce the other functions. So once we're finished, you're going to have these two functions, okay, the parent functions, and also these other functions on the second page. So again, keep them, okay, don't lose them. All right, I'll talk to you in the next lesson. Bye.